that we were able to find. And what a compliment to Drew and the performance department, and especially all of the parents and all of the children who've been doing such great work over the many months to get here. So I want you guys to know, parents and children alike, that you guys are really on the right track. Some of the industry people, every program, I handpick a few industry professionals to come up to the stage to talk about their experiences with Premier, to talk about what they look for in performers throughout the week. So it kind of gives you guys an inside look as to the mindset of what the industry people are looking for. I've also invited on the stage with us today Michelle Byerly, because from a parent's perspective, I think it's very important to hear what she has to say as well. What we're going to do is I'm going to just introduce the entire panel all at once, and what I'd like you guys to do is to maintain a continuous applause as each of the industry people come up here to the stage. Let's go ahead and have Nikki Bohannon from Teal Management, Kim Jago from Jago Entertainment, Samuel Nunn, RBM Actors, Amy Phillips, iModel Management, Gina Stoge Management, Ariana Sumak, Q Agency, Daryl from Global Management 101, and Michelle Byerly. Michelle Byerly. There you are. So, Michelle, we're going to put you on the spot first. Let's talk a little bit about you being a mother and you being here at this program 6 years ago, and kind of what the journey has been since to weed through all of your callbacks and find an industry person that you wanted to work with.
Oh my gosh. Okay, callbacks is always like my...
Bring the mic a little closer to you.
I love talking about callbacks. So Hayden came here. He had won first place in his age group. He had 18 callbacks. And I'll never forget that day, like Googling and getting on the internet and finding 1,000,001 questions and getting down there and driving everybody absolutely insane with my, oh my gosh, red flag alert. So my suggestions to you for callback day is to keep it simple. Find out who they are, if they're a manager, agent, casting director, exactly what it is that they do. And I always get really nervous up here. And then where they live, go visit them, see their office, go take a visit, because the person that I met here was not necessarily the person that I ended up signing with, even though we were with CESD and JLA, which we met here at Premier 6 years ago. So I just suggest that you go and check out their office and get to know them and meet them, and keep it simple. Just keep it really, really simple. Don't get overwhelmed.
Daryl, you've been coming to the program for quite some time. You've got a lot of kids that you've worked with through this program. Please tell everyone some of the kids you've found and what you're looking for.
Well, first and foremost, good morning, everyone. Good. First, Michael, I want to thank you for having me. I've been coming for at least probably 10 years, and my success has been phenomenal. I've found a kid that was on Blue Bloods, CBS Blue Bloods, and the Verizon commercial, Nickelodeon, Nick Jr. But most importantly for me, when I'm looking for talent, I look for someone that is respectful. I look for someone that has manners and integrity, because at the end of the day, I'm sending you out in auditions, and you're meeting and greeting with different people, and you have to be able to have that not just the it factor of the talent of the model or actor, but I want you to be very respectful to the people that you engage with this week throughout the hotel, your parents most importantly. Kudos to each and every one of you and all the guardians and parentals that, you know, has the opportunity to have your kids here. But for me as a manager, I want someone who has those components, because if you go into a room and you do not have manners or you can't articulate, you're not going to be able to move forward in anything that you do. So for me, I would have to say I'm looking for somebody who has manners, respect, and intelligence.
Amy Phillips, you've been coming to the program for a while, and you have a story that you have told in the past. The twins that you found here, they are so active on social media.
Yes.
And at every turn that Premier takes, whether it's in London or somewhere in Australia, anywhere in the world, these girls are on our social media hashtagging Drew West, Premier Program, tagging us. They are such huge fans of the program, and you found them here. Tell the story to everyone about kind of how they changed your point of view of representation.
Completely. First of all, hello everyone. How are you guys doing? I was here, I think it was about a year and a half ago, and I saw one of the twins. There was only one that was in the competition, and I happened to see her. I didn't have a children's division. I only worked with high fashion models, and I saw this young lady, and she just took my breath away. There was something so special about her. I ran into her mother and her in the elevator here at the hotel, and I said, listen, you're amazing. I don't take children, but I am this close to starting a kids division because of you. And she said, oh, that wasn't me, that was my sister. And that was it. I was like, there's two of you, I'm done. I'm signing you guys, like, you're that incredible. So I went from not having a children's division to taking on these two 10-year-old children who are so incredibly active on social media. And honestly, that has changed their world. They have clients and designers, clothing lines that are reaching out to them because of how much they're on social media, and they're sending them clothes and they're paying them to mention them on Instagram, and they're so incredibly thankful to have come here. They're huge fans of the convention. In fact, recently, and I haven't gotten to share this with you guys yet, but supermodel Coco Rocha has teamed up with me to now mentor the twins, and they're shooting pretty much every other week for a new editorial for a magazine. So they're climbing that ladder. They're becoming very successful, not only on the children's level of modeling, but they've really elevated themselves because of social media, and they've been able to kind of do things that a lot of older models wish that they could, because they're kind of using that to their advantage. So we've been very successful, very lucky, blessed to have come here, blessed to have met these beautiful young ladies, and it's definitely changed my point of view on the type of model that I would want to represent. Now I'm open to pretty much any and all ages, any and all sizes. I'm excited to see what we have here with you guys this time.
We have Gina Stoge with us. And Gina, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm actually an agent in Australia, and in the last 4 years I started a management company in LA and more recently New York. So in Australia I'm an agent for children and adults, and in LA I represent mainly adults, but I do see teenagers as well, so yeah.
And we have quite a presence from Australia. Can Australia speak out this morning?
Yay!
We have some really talented Australians here with us today.
Wonderful.
So, Gina, I think you're going to be very happy.
I'm looking forward to it. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Samuel.
Hi.
Hi, Samuel.
Can you hear me okay?
I know that we have some people from the UK. Where's my UK group?
Wow, quite a few of you. Hi.
Samuel, please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Samuel, or I also go by Sammy, a bit more formal, and so I'm from the UK. And so we look after kids as well as adults. And yes, I'm really interested to meet you guys and see some new, fresh talent, really. And I certainly agree with Daryl. God, really bad with names. That I'm really looking forward to meeting people that have got natural manners and just really kind people. And like what I always find with my clients is that I just want to find that natural rapport. Like I want to get on with them, because if I get on with them, it's going to make my job a lot easier to then work with you and then work with the rest of the team and just get you jobs. So looking forward to meeting you guys.
Kim Jago, I know you found some really great people here.
I did. I've been very fortunate for the children that I've met here over the past few showcases and stuff, and I can't get over what some of them have done. We had just 6 months ago one young man we had met here, and he just recently secured a role on a new television show. Not recurring, but still, it's his first role. So the excitement, just hearing his mother and him just screaming, and he couldn't believe it. And
is that the young man from San Francisco?
yes, it is.
Okay. Very good. These are kids that have, just like many of you, have little to no experience. I know that in the group somewhere in this session, we have a young lady who's actually on a Disney Channel Australia series who's attending this program because she wants to expand her career and she wants to get a higher level of exposure. And I think she's also looking to sort of bridge the gap between Australia and the US. We have examples of talent that you're going to find that are working like that in the industry already. And then you're also going to find fresh kids here that have really not much experience in the business, but have had so much preparation from us. The program has changed quite a bit, and our curriculum has changed dramatically in terms of the way we prepare the children. So what you're going to get from these children is a very polished and a very confident read, something that's going to be, I believe, so professional and so impressive. I really hope to blow you guys away. Nikki, please say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Nikki, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I own a management company, and so I do a lot of development with the clients. I take very few clients, but I work with them on everything from what they're going to wear, their brand, their style. I specifically am in music, but I do all the branding for them as well, and we build a trajectory for a career where they can make a living and hopefully do amazing. So that's what I do, and I've been here once before, and it is awesome to see the kids come out and do stuff. And just so you guys know, I'm nervous right now. You might be nervous tomorrow. It's okay. We're all human. It's okay.
And I think that's a great piece of advice. And I also know that, sometimes when I started out as a performer when I was younger, if I didn't feel that energy, if I didn't feel that sense of adrenaline, my performance was never very good. It's not about putting that feeling away, it's about using that feeling. And it's about using it to your advantage and allowing it to help you tell your story. As far as what you guys are looking for this week, anyone who wants to start and take the question, I want to open it up to everyone. Does anyone have anything specific? Because I think you each come from a very different background and perspective. I know that Michelle wants to take care of every single parent and every single child in this room and spend as many hours as she possibly can to make everyone feel fantastic about themselves. She's a tremendous giver. Everyone else on this panel either has helped kids get work in the industry or comes from more of a development side. It just depends. What would you guys say that you're each looking for in your own way?
I say, first, just have a good time. That's very important. Let the nerves, you're going to be very nervous, and that's okay. What I'm looking for exactly is, it's not anything specific. I will know it when I see it. I found a young lady that was 10 when I met her here, and she's now 17, so she's been with me for 7 years, and she went from a kid actress to now a model. So I think when you guys walk into the room, just go in with confidence and poise and just smile. It's okay. I know everybody's going to be a little nervous and, trying to figure out what's going on. Parents, just let them be. Don't coach, don't push, don't pry, don't tell them how to say their lines, because then what happens is that puts a lot of pressure on these young children. And they need to be natural. Just let them be. Sometimes all they have to do is say hi, and I can say, that's it. That's the one I want. And that has happened for me in the past. I've also met children walking through the line, and I'll say, I didn't see you before. Or, it's just different things. So let them just have that natural feeling of being who they are. Because you guys are their parents and parentals, and let them be who they are. Don't say, well, I think you should say it like this or do it like this. Let them say it their way. I think that's very important, because too much coaching becomes over-coaching, and then it gives them the jitters. And I want them to just be natural. I think that's very important. And one other thing I will mention, and I think Michael might like this, for the young ladies, think very age appropriate, please, especially for the girls.
I'd like to build off of what you just said and have Michelle tell her story about how she ruined a job for her son.
Yes.
I tell that all the time. So,
It was Dolphin Tales, right?
Hayden had an audition for Dolphin Tales. Yeah, he did. And I was a wedding planner before Hayden made me a stage mom, and I was used to controlling everything. Like, I had my schedule laid out, and we knew where we were going to be 6 months from now, a year from now. And this industry is very quick. You don't know until tonight what you're working tomorrow, and it can be really fast. And so we lived in Colorado, and we would put our auditions on tape from our home, and then if Hayden got a callback or a director session, we would drive to Los Angeles. And so, in my mind, that 15-hour drive, I would be like working myself up, like I left my clients, I left my family, and here we're driving, and you just kind of start getting anxious. And yes, they're kids. I mean, Hayden was 9, and you forget sometimes, right? Like, this is serious and this is business because I'm sacrificing. And I think that that's probably the same with any type of sport. I think I do that with my son Landon too. But we got in this casting office, and I just started getting worked up for him, and I put my ear against the door and was listening to them audition, and this person literally came and tapped on my shoulder, and I jumped, and I'm like, I just need to know what's going on behind the closed door. And I got really nervous, and this guy said, sit down. So I sat down. And Hayden came out, and the guy came over, and he looked at the casting director, and she looked at me, and he went like this, and we left. And I said to Hayden, I screwed that up for you so badly.
And Hayden thought he did a really good read.
He rocked it. I mean, he was like, I did fantastic. And that casting office hasn't called us back until just recently. Now, my son has been working on the same show for almost 4 years, you guys. He should be called in automatically these days to work, and that casting office hasn't called us back until just recently, so I'm very thankful for that. And I just want to say to you, you can screw it up for your children, you really can. So definitely take a step back and let them, and it's right, like Daryl's right, let them be this week, like let them have fun, because when you start coaching them, and I was bullying Hayden, we were working together, and I was being mean to him, thinking he'd be mean back to me, and I'm his mom, he's not going to be mean back to me. And so he started crying, and then I was like, oh God, what am I doing? I'm not an actress, I have no idea, I don't know how it works, but let them do it, let them get in the room and work and shape them. And kids take good direction when they tell you, to change or redirect. Take good direction, be good listeners this week, because that will help you immensely. So have fun. I think all you kids should have fun, and it'll be amazing. And moms and dads, come see me, hang out with me. We'll take
Kim, I think you do a really good job on social media. I watch you really active on Facebook. Can you talk to everyone a little bit about how important social media is to a child's career?
That's a tricky question. Social media can help, without question. It can help in different ways. However, when you have a child that is, in my opinion, not really at that point, you're now exposing them to everyone. And I had a young family who I actually met here and have been working with both the son and the sister, or the daughter.
Cupids?
Yes, the Cupids. Yes, very sweet family that I met here. And they had a situation where somebody started reaching out to the daughter, and they had to get the police involved. I work very closely with my parents, and I explain that, I need, if you're going to have a social media account for your child, having one is not going to get them in the room for more auditions necessarily, okay? So please understand that. But the most important thing is that as you're putting your child out there, these accounts really should say run by parent. You have to send a signal to people, because there are people that you don't want your children exposed to combing those sites.
Samuel, I know that in America there's a big focus on social media, where a production company will look at the number of followers of an actor and say, well, they're both kind of good actors, but this one has more followers, so we're going to hire this one. How does that work for you, and how does that play out in the UK?
It can be pretty much the same thing. If somebody's just got like 60 followers, you're going to have to go with the sellable, far more sellable, which is really bad. But then, so sometimes you just got to really fight for the corner, particularly if your client hasn't got those few thousand followers. You just got to, you sell that is this the one that they've got something different. But then, at the same time, their following will increase.
I'd like everyone to tell us what is the it factor for you. I know for me, when I'm evaluating the kids, I'm looking for very specific things. I'm looking for an old soul. I'm looking for someone who has wisdom about themselves beyond their years. I'm looking for someone who has confidence. I'm looking for someone who can find joy in their performance. Those are things to me that make me feel free and connect and make me feel engaged. What are some of the things that make you guys feel engaged when you're watching something like that?
You want us to go down the line? You want us to go down the line?
Yeah.
I look for someone who's articulate. I think articulation is very important. A charming smile. Someone who can smile really big is very refreshing. I mean, think about it. When you see somebody who's smiling all the time, it just feels good. But articulation for me is big, because I love someone who can have a very intelligent conversation. I want somebody I can, even if you're 8 or 9 or 10 years old, I love like that little child that can just say, hey, I'm here, and they can tell me all about themselves. That's why I always tell young people, read, 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 and read again, because that just is so powerful. And for me, when I can see these young people that just can articulate words and can say some words that I don't even recognize, it's very a contagious thing. But that smile, that genuine warm smile is like, I think, is amazing. I think just somebody who can just light up the room for me. But articulation, a smile, and somebody with a nice, firm handshake. That handshake says a lot about a person. So that's what I look for.
I think we'd probably all agree on what everybody has to say, so I'm just going to add to that and obviously agree 100% with everything Daryl just said. I would have to add to that confidence, just believing in yourself, and sometimes, you know, that's difficult, especially if you're new and you're coming into this, but believe me, I've been there, I've been on the other side of things when I was young, and I remember feeling that way, but fake it till you make it. Just show confidence and be natural, you know, be real, and relax.
I agree with all that as well. Also the eyes, you know, if they've got that joy in their eyes, that they're really enjoying what they're doing, that's the most important thing to me. And professionalism, always be courteous and all that sort of stuff that Daryl was mentioning earlier. So, yeah.
I always look for, I mean, it's really always hard to say what is the it factor, but it's just somebody that is naturally charming and also not afraid to connect with the audience. You know, even if it's just an audition with, you know, just one or two people, you know, not afraid to look at them in the eyes and, you know, really deliver the message you're trying to say. You know, like if you're really upset or whatever emotion it is that you just, you know, it's quite raw. It's really hard to do, but just connect. I think that's particularly in a live performance. That's what I look for.
For us, we're looking for, I want to say, a uniqueness, because each child is obviously unique in themselves. Real, that, you know, what they're bringing to you is really who they are. I've seen the one child that I'm working with now, she was in Nashville, she's currently in LA, that I met here. Just seeing her walking through, and she'd smile, and I was just like, wow, like, oh my gosh. And I'd say to the industry, she's going to be with us, so don't, hands off, she's mine. There's just something about a child that is just being who they really are, and they bring that uniqueness and maybe this little quirkiness that all the kids do have, and it's like, it blows us away, just them being who they are.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I want to feel like the kids in the room, because they can't imagine doing anything else. Because before you take a kid and you pluck them out of school and you start making them work 18-hour days, like, it has to be something that they want so bad, and you can see it on their face that this is all they can do. And then from the music side, it's like, I'm looking for artists. I'm looking for people who write songs at night and play instruments, and they're just really musically inclined. And this is what, you know, that they're not just trying to get famous through music. They want to play music, and they want to be involved in music.
Well, I think that's all wonderful advice. Families, let's give a big round of applause to our industry panel. We so appreciate you making the effort to be here. I know how busy all of you are, and some of you have come from obviously all parts of the world to help support your home country. And that's what's so fantastic about this program, is that just because someone lives in Australia or lives in Canada or lives in the UK, this program has now become the center point for talent, their parents, and industry professionals alike to gather and meet twice a year to help launch their path in this industry. And it's not just about getting callbacks. It's not just about working in the industry. It's about you fulfilling your potential as a human being. Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, panel and Michael. Good luck, everyone, in your practice sessions. Work hard, stay focused, but have fun.